So hey there, welcome to Andy's podcast, where we don't do boring. This is my spot on the little blue and green dot, and allow me to adjust myself, thank you. And this is where we talk about experience, communication, time, money, balance and compromise. So what is our show about today? Well, I've recently been watching the Isle of Man TT, which is a very famous motorbike race, and it's almost an endurance race, really. In terms of motorcycles, it's like the Olympics, but the marathon. But and I was watching that, and I watched a man finish on the podium for the first time in his career, and he was extremely disappointed. He wasn't second. He was never going to beat the man who won, and he was second by 1.2 seconds to another man who'd sort of come through, another, as it were, unknown. And he was really disappointed, and I thought, wow, what was his expectation? You know, because the way he acted, I thought, wow, you know, how does that work? I mean, I've raced a bike myself. My expectations were always just to finish, never mind do anything else. And I thought, well, what did he expect? And then I thought, managing expectations. So that's what this show's about. It's about managing expectations. Because we have a lot of people who have a thing now that if things don't go their way, they just lose it. They get very frustrated, they get very angry, and it's all part of time management and all that other stuff. But, managing your expectations to avoid disappointment. So, and I thought, I was amazed at that. I thought, well, how is he disappointed? He's just finished one of the greatest races in the world, and he's on the podium. I mean, wow. You know, and he lost by 1.2 seconds, so that's going to motivate him to make his bike a bit quicker, isn't it? Or to make himself be a bit quicker. I don't know, but I was that's what led me to the podcast. So, managing expectations to avoid disappointment. So how should you start doing that? What can you do to manage your expectations? Because a lot of people, we live in a one-click world now, don't we? Click it, you look at it on a picture, right? And you see what you want, and you click it, and it arrives on your doorstep the next day in a box. Boom, done. Right, expectation was same as picture, open box, same as picture, satisfied, done. Whether it works or not is another matter, but that doesn't matter. It's just same as the picture, that's it. You paid for it, that's which is an odd way to do things. But, I order things, obviously, online, but I know exactly what I'm ordering. So, and that's why I've decided to do this. Managing expectations, there's three main things. Patience. You need patience when you have an expectation, because if you think you've got a rock solid plan for the rest of your life, or a rock solid plan for this particular thing, the expectation, whatever it is, you're going to need to change that. It needs to be fluid. You need to have the ability to change. I've talked about this before. If you think plans are set in stone, well, you're sadly mistaken, and you're going to be disappointed. So avoid that by having some patience. The other thing is communicate with experience, with people of experience, people you don't even know. Why does it matter? I know my mother said I'd never met a stranger, but that's not really the point. If there's something that motivates you, you can pluck up the courage to do anything, so communicate with experienced people, or with something you see that's part of your expectation. Then we have to decide first. The first thing is, what is driving your expectation? Okay, my expectation, and the reason I build sandcastles like I do, is because I wanted a system that I could repeat day in, day out, that I knew was reliable. So I know my beach has great sand, so I wanted a system where I could teach with my great sand again and again and again and again, and do that successfully, and teach people how to make sandcastles on videos and give them inspiration, right? So marketing myself on YouTube, you know what the expectation of my marketing is? That. 0. Yep, when I market myself, I don't expect anything. That way I'm never disappointed. So when somebody calls me and says, I'm in India, can you send me a toolkit? Or I'm on a beach in Galveston, I'm really stuck, how do I get this bucket off? Or whatever it is, I always answer all the comments and questions. So while we're on that, please subscribe. Likes don't really matter. Please subscribe, share the video, and press that notification bell. No, don't press it. I've learned that now nobody says that. They always say smash the notification bell so you see my next video. So do that first for me, thank you. Because it's all about algorithms, and it's all about subscribers. It's not about anything else. So yes, I've talked to YouTube about this a lot. Anyway. So there we go. So what is driving your expectation? Is it speed? Have you got an event or something? Do you need to do something really quickly? Right? Are you behind? What's the thing? Money. Have you got a budget? You've only got this much money to spend, and you want this. Right, okay. Time, are you going to do it yourself or are you going to get somebody else to do it so you have more time to go out and do what you're doing while they're doing what they're doing? So that's what I do. An event, you got a big birthday, a wedding, a celebration, a family reunion. You know, if there's some event that drives your expectation. Quality. You want the best quality. You're not bothered about quality. You've got a budget. You haven't got a budget. Is it unlimited? Whatever, what is it? Quantity. You just want more of something. So price drives that, more quantity. Is it really quality? If you care about that, great. If you don't care about it, well, there you are. Your expectation is stuff of limited quality that you can just pass on or sell or use. And then we live in a throwaway society. Most people just throw it. So, it's a cheap thing that they need to fulfill their expectation. So, how do you measure that in different terms? Because the people look at me and say, it's all very well for you, Andy, you're old. Yes, I am. Yeah, great. So you're old. Why are you passing this on? How's this going to save me time and money? Well, let's just put it into some real world terms. You're in an office, okay? And you want to be promoted. You think you're working hard enough. You think you're doing a good job. You know your job really well. You get praised all the time. And you think, well, I want to do more. I want to get promoted. I want to move on. Let's go. Well, have you ever communicated that to your boss, that you want a promotion? Your boss has got more experience than you. That's why he's your boss. And communication with that boss, it's scary. He might get the wrong idea. No, he won't. It's just a conversation. At least you'll know where he stands and you'll tell him what you want. And he knows then that you're motivated to do better. And if you're already doing a great job, he will praise you and say, okay, well, let's put a timeline on that to try and get you a promotion so you can look forward to something. Right? And then if that goes on and nothing happens, well, time to change lanes. There's already a video about that. But it's not. You have to communicate with that person of experience to set an expectation, to frame your expectation. Okay? So, and if you do the work, you go the extra mile, you learn more, you educate yourself, you do more research, and the only thing a boss wants out of an employee is to look good. Any boss wants to look great by his employees' work, and if you've got top class employees, they'll make you look good, and the boss is then very happy because they look good, right? It's simple, it's pat yourself on the head thing, and that's fine. If you know that's the expectation of your boss, he said, we've got a project coming up, if you can do this for me, I will make sure that you're in that next promotion round. Now, all you can do is do your best and go the extra mile, and if he's being honest with you and you have got a shot at a promotion, well, great. I mean, obviously, you have to trust him, and trust is all built by communication. No communication, no trust. Okay? So another example, let's move on from the office. You want to paint your house. You are just fed up to the back teeth. In fact, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of the way your house looks. Okay, you've tidied the garden, you've done this, but then you think, I'm not happy. I want my house painted. And every day you drive down the street and you see that fabulous house on the corner, which has just had a remodel and it's been painted in your favorite color. Wow. And it looks awesome. And you think, I wish my house looked like that. So do you know what you have to do? It's a shocker. I know, communicate. You have to stop your car, get out, go and knock on the door and ask the owner and say, do you mind if I ask you a quick question? Who painted your house? Because I think it looks beautiful. Now, any homeowner is going to love the fact that you've complimented them on their job and it's what they wanted, so they think somebody else now knows that it's beautiful. They'll always talk to you. Of course they will. And sometimes you get a bad reaction, but sure, you're talking about 1 in a million. Most humans want to help other humans. Duh, why I'm here. So if you just ask the questions and you go in, have a cup of tea, have a look around, see what the quality of work's like. Ask the person whether they're happy with the job. And if you can pluck up the courage, some people don't like to ask, but nobody cares. Ask them what it cost, and they're not going to tell you exactly. They'll give you a ballpark. It's north of 5,000. It was 10,000. Oh, we spent a bit more money on this and this, right? Well, I'll tell you one thing about painting. It's the paint that matters, not the painter, right? If you go buy your paint from Walmart, that's budget. All right, that's what you're going to get, budget paint. If you go and buy it and have it specially mixed and it's a proper exterior grade, I spent a lot of money when I painted my house. Right, and it took 8 gallons just to spray it, and it's a tiny house, right? And the guy said, well, I need another can. I didn't care because I knew I could see the job he was doing, and it was fantastic. So I didn't care. I said, well, slap it on, come back and do another coat. You want me to coat it again? Yes, please. Well, I'll need another 2 gallons. I don't care. Because it was the best paint I could buy. It had the best reputation. Of course, I read the reviews and all the other stuff. But I also asked friends of mine who are painters and said, what would you buy? And he said, well, if you want the best, it's this stuff. And I said, right. And they all gave me the same answer. They said, wow, it's expensive, though. Well, I wasn't bothered because it's my house. It's the biggest investment I've got. Why wouldn't I seal it properly? You're going to buy a coat with holes in it? Going to buy one of those nice cheap Macs when you're going to go out in freezing rain all the time? Yeah, nice. This is a weatherproof coating for your house. So I didn't skimp on it, but I asked a lot of people and they all came up with the same answer. So if you go and stop outside that beautiful house and knock on the door and just ask them about it, they will be more than happy to tell you, because they think that you've come along and said their house is beautiful, you want your house to be the same, and that's it. And they'll recommend, and they'll tell you all the problems they had as well. Ask them if there were any challenges. And they'll be glad to say, yeah, well, we weren't very happy because he turned up one week and he didn't turn up the next, but he finished it. He didn't finish on time, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. They'll tell you whatever it is. So then you can manage your expectation. Okay? Like I said, marketing myself, I spend a lot of money on video. I spend a lot of money, not a lot of money, a lot of time doing videos and marketing and making videos and trying to imagine what people want. And my expectation of that is 0, because I don't monetize my channel, because I want you to have it ad-free and I want you to actually carry on what I'm doing. It's a system. I want you to use your system on your beach, and if it works, fantastic. Go for it. I mean, there's over 200 videos now. You can watch it till your cows come home. So I am going to streamline that in the future. But the marketing of it, my expectation is 0. My expectation is that I make people happy. So, that's my expectation. So you have to decide. Let's recap. You have to decide, you have to be patient, you have to communicate with people who have an experience, and you have to decide first what's driving the expectation. Speed, money, time, an event, quality, quantity, or most of all, just fun. Right? I mean, I do stuff for fun because there's no expectation. I mean, I know I enjoy it, so it's going to be fun anyway. There's no expectation, if I go here, I should go to this restaurant, and I go here, and I should go to that restaurant, and this will be perfect, and that's be perfect, based on the reviews. No. When I go to a place, this is sort of on the same subject. When I travel, I go to a place, and I don't want the frou-frou. I don't want the, you've got to go here, and you have to eat this, and I want to get into the guts of the place. So I've usually been involved with people who are locals. I deal with local people, and they know the best spots, and they can tell me the worst spots, and I can say, what's this stuff mean? And they go, oh, right, that's the so-and-so, so-and-so. I wouldn't do that if I was you. Or whatever, and I like to get into the guts of it, so I don't want the frou-frou and the pat on the head and the shiny glossy. I want the guts. I want the meaningful, honest opinions, and the only place you can get them is by communicating with locals. And I've done this all over the planet, from Russia to New Zealand, Texas to Britain. It doesn't matter. Get with the locals; they will put you right. And that's what I like to do. So my expectations are never high until I talk to one of those guys or girls and say, "What would you do?" So that's the way I do that. And so that's the thing. But just don't get frustrated. The frustration comes from your plan not going to plan. Well, make it fluid. You have to have this flexibility in any plan in order to manage your expectations. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Okay? Whether you're racing motorbikes, painting houses, you want a promotion at work, who cares? It doesn't matter what you're doing. You need to manage your expectations so you're not disappointed. So everybody knows that creation begins with destruction. Yes. So I've been creating today. I went and finished off some parrots. I went and built a sandcastle. That's why the podcast's a tad late. Sorry about that, dear. And we don't do boring, because boring's for other people, right? I don't do boring. I try and manage boring out of my expectations. And please subscribe and smash the bell for me, and I'll see you next time. It's always great to talk to you. Please comment, because I reply to every single one. All right, this is Andy Hancock from his spot on the little blue and green dot, and I'll see you next time. Bye.